Hi, Chris here. Today I'll be picking this, what is often called a Disklock Pro, in a padlock body. Now, I say often called. I'm a little bit unclear what the sort of history of these is. So a couple of years ago now, I picked this Disklock Pro door cylinder, and it's got a very similar key. You could definitely have interchangeable keys between door cylinders and padlocks. But the internals of the lock are somewhat different in that this has a set of DC bars which limit the access to the discs, whereas this does not. It does have these kind of, it's got a spinner, and there's another plate, or disc force rather, which has got some warding on it, and there's a profile plate at the back that goes with those little notches on the key tip, but it doesn't have the bars running down inside the lock, so the access to the discs is somewhat easier. It is still a difficult lock though. I'm going to be using this tool, which is sort of a Z-shaped picking tip nested inside this tensioner, which is sort of two bars supporting it. I've designed this so that this is sort of undersized at the end, so it will end up being supported by the sort of fins on the rear profile plate that would sit in there. So it's actually a little bit smaller than the key. It's not bad. It doesn't quite do all the range of motion. The disc profile inside is quite open and makes it quite difficult actually. So yeah, go on. So I'm not totally sure on the history of these. If anyone knows more than me, then feel free to comment. But it's an interesting, tricky, and not often picked lock. So let's get into the picking. Okay, so here we are with the lock in the vise. See that operating completely normally. There is the key. Let's see if we can get this picked. It is quite a difficult pick. I seem to keep losing feedback halfway through and then having to do a bit of work to re-establish it, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay, disc 1. A little bit of feedback there. 2. Binding nicely. And lost the feedback. 3, binding a little bit. 4 is fixed disc. You hear that little click, and I've just moved on a little bit. I think that's just the sidebar sticking then dropping in, so hopefully somewhat better feedback now. Nothing on that at all. Just a little bit. We're getting nothing out of these. Ah, there we go. Awesome. Lock is open. Brilliant. Just lock that back up and get the tool out. Take it to pieces. Okay, I have of course already removed the grub screw. Okay, so that's washer, spinner and the first spacer. Just to see if I can pull this out now. There we go. Okay, so there's sidebar. Take this spring off the back now. And also a tiny little spring down inside there energizes the sidebar. Oh. Just pull that out too so I don't lose it. Pull that there. I'll just take these out in pairs, separate them in a minute. Okay, so then here we have the carrier, and you can see down inside there the two slots for the return bars. There are the return bars. Just give a close up on the sidebar. Looks like that's one sort of L-shaped sidebar, and then section, sort of slightly rounded rectangle. And then discs wise, we have down at the back we've got this profile disc, so you can see it's just true gates on it, and it's got a little bit of warding coming in from the edges. And then on disc 4, very similar. So just the true gates, but here you've got the warding on the sides, which matches the key profile and the profile on the spinner. And then we've got a whole load of code discs, all sort of variations on this theme. So there's a gate of one description or another in every location. Got some wide false gates, some narrow false gates, and you can see 2 true gates on this. It's because the disc is compatible with a two-way lock. The only one on this that matters, I think, is that one. And the space is kind of interesting. There's two different types. They're all very thin. What marks them out as a little bit different to the two-way is, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little shoulder. There's a little shoulder on the inside there, which means that the only one of the return bars can actually drop in. So you can't turn it anti-clockwise to unlock it. You have to turn it clockwise. Lock body. I won't take it all apart. Hopefully you can see sidebar groove in there. Just turn this around, try and bring it up to the camera without dropping it everywhere. There you go. So that is the padlock version of a Disklock Pro, picked and gutted.